Rahasyam tato jayamudhiraye nashtaprayesha badreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhakti bhavati naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 22, Text 31. Kusham Kasha Kashamayam Barihihi Kushakashamayam Barihi Astirya Bhagavan Manuhu Astirya Bhagavan Manuhu Ayajad Yajna Purusham Ayajad Yajna Purusham Labdha Sthanam Yataha Bhuvam Labdha Sthanam Yato Bhuvam Kushakashamayam Barhi Astirya Bhagavan Manoho Ayajad Yajna Purusham Labdha Sthanam Yato Bhuvam. Kusham of Kusha grass, Kasha and of Kasha grass, Mayam made, Barihihi a seat, Astirya having spread, Bhagavan the greatly fortunate, Manuhu Swayambhu Manu, Ayajad worship, Yajna Purusham Lord Vishnu, Labdha had achieved, Sthanam the abode, Yataha from whom, Bhuvam the earth. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: Manu spread a seat of kuśas and kāśas and worshipped the Lord, the Personality of Godhead, by whose grace he had obtained the rule of the terrestrial globe. Please repeat. Manu spread a seat of kuśas and kāśas and worshipped the Lord, the Personality of Godhead, by whose grace he had obtained the rule of the terrestrial globe. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Manu is the father of mankind, and therefore from Manu comes the word man, or in Sanskrit Manushya. Those who are in a better position in the world, having sufficient wealth, should especially take lessons from Manu, who acknowledged his kingdom and opulence to be gifts from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and thus always engaged in devotional service. Similarly, the descendants of Manu are human beings, especially those who are situated in a well-to-do condition, must consider that whatever riches they have are gifts from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Those riches should be utilized for the service of the Lord in sacrifices performed to please Him. That is the way of utilizing wealth and opulence. No one can achieve wealth, opulence, good birth, a beautiful body, or nice education without the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Therefore, those who are in possession of such valuable facilities must acknowledge their gratefulness to the Lord by worshipping Him and offering what they have received from Him. When such acknowledgement is given, either by a family, nation, or society, their abode becomes almost like Vaikuntha, and it becomes free from the operation of the threefold miseries of this material world. In the modern age, the mission of Krishna consciousness is for everyone to acknowledge the supremacy of Lord Krishna. Whatever one has in his possession must be considered a gift by the grace of the Lord. Everyone therefore should engage in devotional service through Krishna consciousness. If one wants to be happy and peaceful in his position, either as a householder or citizen or member of human society, one must promote devotional service for the pleasure of the Lord. Tasanstha Bhaktivedanta Parpoto Madhyana Timirandasya Dhananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nivishesha Shunyavadi Bhashyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So Swayambhu Manu, after fulfilling his duties of marrying his daughter, he comes back to his palace, Bahishmati Pura, and then by spreading Kushakashamayam Barihi, by spreading the seed made out of these two types of grasses, Astisya Bhagavan Manu, highly fortunate Manu, Ayajat, he worships Yajna Purusham, that is Lord Vishnu. Labdha Sthanam Yato Bhavam, he is by whose grace, by the grace of Yajna Purusha, Labdha, he has attained a particular sthanam, position, yato bhuvam, in this globe. So this is first class intelligence, means to learn to be grateful. Intelligent persons only can become grateful because they understand that today I am in a certain position, particularly in a well-to-do position, because it is the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, to recognize that my progress, my advancement is because of the grace of the Lord, that recognition requires intelligence. Most of the time, the people think that I have worked very hard and day and night I have spent time and energy and I have achieved this position in my life. So why should I become grateful to anybody else? So this is this mentality is called the fruitive mentality. One sees that he is able to achieve results apparently without anybody's help, and then so he thinks that he is a self-sufficient person. But here we see Manu, who is the ruler of the entire planet, terrestrial globe, and is Vaishmati Pura. We have understood in the previous verse, Sarva Sampat. It is said the Sarva Sampat Samanvita. It is having all kinds of riches and wealth and opulences. And so Manu is not thinking that these opulences are because of my own achievements. He is seeing that these are all grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is very important. And then, so with that grateful attitude, he is now worshipping the Supreme Yajna Purusham, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu or Krishna. So, one has to worship the Supreme Lord, sacrifice for his service with the mood of this gratitude, with the feelings of gratefulness. Actually, what the Lord has given us is causeless. Causeless means we may be doing a very small thing, but then suddenly we see we are bestowed with a big result, an unusual result. Particularly if somebody is having a good to do life, he should know that he is favored. Krishna has favored him, and that's how he is in such a position. So, these feelings of gratefulness are valued. Spiritual life means one has to develop this fineness in his interactions, in his emotions towards the Supreme Lord. Develop this kind of fine sentiments towards Krishna. This is spiritual life. Krishna is the one who is supplying everything for everyone. Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Yo Bahunam Vidadati Kaman. This is the verdict of the Vedas, verdict of the Upanishad, that Ekaha, one Supreme Personality, he takes care of Bahunam, innumerable other living entities. So it is a fact that Krishna is supplying to everybody, and whatever we have in our possession, it could be wealth, it could be name and fame, it could be beauty, it could be knowledge or education, whatever it may be, one should know that it is simply a gift of the Supreme Personality of God. So one should feel grateful and then engage all these facilities in the service of the Lord. Gratefulness means not just feeling, but he should actually do something for the pleasure of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He has to engage all those opulences that he has received from the Supreme Lord. So if somebody is working very hard, let us say is an employee or a businessman or whatever that profession could be, he honestly worked 24 hours and then he receives a certain money. What is this money? What is this wealth? It is actually the gift of the Supreme Lord. It is the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. One has to execute his duties. That is compulsory. Nobody should remain idle in this world because Shastra says if we don't do our duties, we will not be even able to manage our family lives, ourselves. Our bodily necessities will not be fulfilled. So one has to do his duties. And when he works hard, that is, then some result comes. And Krishna, he says in Bhagavad Gita, that that entire result is his. Let us say somebody gets a business, he does a business and gets a 1 crore, a quarter of in 3 months. Let us say he gets that money. That entire money is actually Krishna's money, but because of his hard work and his sincerity, the Lord has kept that money in the custody of that person. In the bank, you see a cashier, in his custody there will be millions of rupees. So the bank has kept that money under the custody of the cashier. That money doesn't belong to him. Cashier is very clear. At the end of the month, cashier will get his own salary for his maintenance and family and all that. But the millions of dollars that comes to him into his hand, it doesn't belong to him. Similarly, by our hard work, we may get some things into our hand, but we should know it's all Krishna's money. It's all Krishna's money. Then, let us say that 1 crore has come into his hands, it's all Krishna's money. So Krishna, since it is Krishna's money, it has to be used for Krishna, for the owner's purpose. Let us say, if I take some government money, government grant, we have to work for the government. Not that that money can be utilized for my own program. So, since Krishna's money has kept in my hand, I am a custodian now. Now what should I do with this? Now this has to be engaged in Krishna's service. So then you may say, no, what about my family expenditures and maintenance and all those things? Krishna says, yes, you can use it from this money, whatever I have sent you. You can use it. And how to use it? You use it in such a way that your requirements are kept minimal. Say, because 1 crore has come, he will kick out his old car and then purchase a new model because he has a lot of money now, and then ultimately doesn't have anything to spend. Now that is not the mood. If somebody gets more money, he should do more service to Krishna. This is because that money belongs to Krishna. He is the owner. He has kept it in our hand, and now Krishna is watching. What will you do with that money? And then, if somebody doesn't do any of these services and then utilizes for his own sense gratification, then he will become a thief. Stena eva saha, he becomes a thief. After all, you have taken somebody else's money and using it for your own purpose. Obviously, it is a thievery. So that money which is belonging to Krishna should be given back to Krishna in love and devotion. It should be given back. And how it should be given back? With the feelings of gratefulness. My Lord, you have put me in this situation. You have given me all these appliances. You have allowed me to even use all these appliances for my existence. And then, so let me offer as much as possible to Krishna. So devotional service means, say, chanting Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. This is devotional service. One should do this devotional service compulsorily. This devotional service can be done by anybody else. Anybody. It doesn't depend on your money. See how Krishna, he is so kind. If you do this much, Krishna becomes obligated. If somebody calls his name, Krishna becomes grateful. Just by uttering the name offenselessly, even Krishna becomes obligated. This is Krishna's nature. Such a small service, but it is so big for him. So, let us say this millionaire, one who got 1 crore, and then we tell him, you please chant Hare Krishna. So he started chanting. So that's enough. That 1 crore he can do whatever he wants. No. He has to give whatever opulences he has received from Krishna. That also should be utilized for sacrifice. Sacrifice means for the satisfaction of Krishna or Vishnu. It has to be used. Sometimes these big business people, at certain age, they'll say, now it's all over, I don't want to do any more business, I'll go to Vrindavan and retire. And then they hand over all their properties to their family members, and he goes with a chanting bag to Vrindavan. So, is it okay? If somebody just goes with a bead bag? No. He has to, when he is trying to give up his material life and trying to come to Krishna conscious life, then the Goswamis they have given a formula of how to divide that money. 50% should be given to Krishna, then 25% to his family members, and other 25 for some personal emergencies. This is the kind of division. So that way God is kind. At least He has given 50% to you. He said, yes, you use it for your whatever your purposes are. So Lord is watching how much you are holding back. He gave you certain talent. Are you engaging fully? He sees how much you are holding back. He gave you wealth. How much you are holding back? He has given you some opulences. So Lord is watching how much you are spending and how much you are holding back from His service. So because this is His own money, He has kept an eye. Krishna has an eye on this. How much we are holding back His money. So if we do not spend for His sacrifice, then so Prabhupada explains, if we do not spend our money for sacrifice to Vishnu, that money will be taken away, sacrificed for some Maya. Elections will come, and then everything will go. You have to spend crores. Once our devotee went to ask some donation. He is actually doing very well, but then he sent away the devotee. After a day or two, some IT raids have happened. And then afterwards again our devotee met him. The Swamiji, just know, I had to give a lot of money. Maybe give me one more year or 2 more years. I'll do something. People do not realize that this money belongs to Krishna. The quicker they give back to Krishna, the better they are. Otherwise, the Maya's agents will come and then it will go away. In one place, Prabhupada very humorously he explains that if you don't give for Krishna Swaha, then it will be Swaha in Maya. He quotes Pakistan and India fighting, and then he says how the big business people, they have to give lakhs of rupees somebody 50 lakhs, somebody 100 lakhs, or something like that, lakhs of rupees. And Prabhupada says, it's all going for gunpowder, swaha, he says. So this is the nature of this world. Any money which piles up with you will become a source of headache. Or sometimes this excess money will be utilized for sinful activities, sense gratification. A person recklessly spends it off for increasing his own sinful burden. So then actually he is not only spoiling the current situation, but he is also paving for a very bad future life. So that's why these are all very serious principles one has to understand. Whatever I have in my possession, that is completely a grace of the Supreme Lord, so I have to use it. So this feeling of gratefulness is glorified. You see, Krishna, he explains that actually Uddhava, he becomes very surprised by Krishna's behavior with Putana. We know Putana came to kill baby Krishna. She thought he is only a baby. But the Supreme Lord is Supreme Person. Even if he is in the form of a baby, none of his opulences, none of his powers will be minimized simply because he is appeared as a small baby. So when Putana approached Krishna, her intention is to kill the baby by feeding the baby with the breast milk. And she had smeared a poison on the breast, and then she approaches Krishna, and that time these innocent gopis, they could not realize that she is coming with a demoniac intentions, and allows her to go near the baby. So Putana comes to the place where Krishna is lying in a jhula, and then takes the baby onto the lap and gives the breast milk to him. And Krishna knows her intentions. After all, he is the Supreme Lord. And it is said that he drinks the milk, and then also he sucks the life air of the Putana and kills her. And the Acharyas are analyzing what happened to Putana. And it is mentioned that Krishna gave Putana a position of a nurse in the spiritual world. Like Yashoda is a mother, she also got a position of a mother in the spiritual world. So now here, why did Krishna give such a position? Krishna thought that I drank the milk, so she is my mother. He has not taken the bad intentions, the bad side of her activity. He took the bright side of her activity. After all, she approached me like a mother to give me milk, so he became grateful. Can you believe? A demon comes to him to kill him by giving milk, but Krishna took the bright side, and then he said, I'll give her a mother's position. And then so Krishna, he has, he became grateful for drinking that milk. So Prabhupada explains this fine sentiment, this gratefulness is very important in the human society. Particularly if we have taken help from someone, or we received the help from someone to become a devotee, we should become grateful. We all eternally remain grateful to Prabhupada for bringing this highest knowledge to us. A disciple should have this feeling of gratefulness, and then he should think that I should pay it back. My obligation. Prabhupada gave me this wonderful knowledge and wonderful life. I should pay it back. And although it is not possible to pay back our debt to the spiritual master, what he gave can never be paid back by the disciple. So he entire life he surrenders to the lotus feet of the spiritual master, and then he tries to repay by expanding his movement, by serving him more and more. This is the genuine gratefulness. He tries to give as much as time and energy possible to spread this movement and to spread this knowledge. So Krishna himself has set this example. Uddhava becomes very surprised that he says, Kim va dayalum, how merciful is Krishna, that who else I can take shelter of? There is nobody else whom I can take shelter of. When I see Krishna, who is so mercifully given the position of a mother even to the enemy. So this is the kind of feeling. And then the same Lord, same Krishna, same Govinda has come along with Mother, and he is standing here and giving us an opportunity to serve. When we see Radha Govinda, we should see them as Chidananda Rupa, Sachidananda Rupa. Their bodies are not material. Their bodies are Sachidananda. They are spiritual bodies. So, and they are personally present and receiving our services. And so devotee becomes very grateful. What am I? What is my life? Such a small amsha, such an insignificant living entity, and he is the Supreme Lord, and with all his opulences he has, his presence is there, and then he has given us an opportunity to serve. How is it that such wonderful, powerful Lord is coming here and giving us this opportunity? It is only because of Prabhupada's mercy. Only a pure devotee is powerful enough to bring Radha and Krishna here. So by his call, they have descended and they agreed to receive our tiny services. So a devotee becomes increasingly enthusiastic by recognizing the presence of the Supreme Lord. If we don't recognize the presence, then it becomes mechanical. Our services will become offensive. One has to recognize the presence of the Supreme Lord. Radha and Govinda, Lakshmi and Narasimha, they are personally present, and they are receiving, accepting whatever little humble services we are able to offer, and reciprocating. Their reciprocation is experienced by devotees in terms of the purification. On a day-to-day basis, devotee will become aware of the area in which he has to improve. He will become aware. Krishna shows with the shining lamp in the heart, the areas to improve, and also he himself will remove the dirt which is stopping us from our progress. This is Krishna's reciprocation. And then when we chant, the same deities, Radha Govinda, they are coming to each one of us. They are dancing on the tongue. They are giving their association. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, same Radha Krishna. The Radha Krishna who are there in Bhagavatam pages, they are standing here and they are the ones who are giving association, and continuously the devotee, and then devotee is honoring their remnants, Radha Govinda's remnants. They are engaged in their service, Radha Govinda's service, Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Radha. This is our life. Continuously we are in touch with Radha and Krishna. This upasana, the highest madhuryojvala rasam unnatam swabhaktim shriyam, this is Lord Chaitanya's mercy. He has given the highest devotional service of serving Radha and Krishna. So, how much grateful we should be to Guru and Gauranga and Krishna for this wonderful opportunity. So that's why devotee, he should render his services with the feelings of gratefulness. In fact, he should feel that, what is my service? I am such a tiny person, what is my service? Lord Brahma is serving him with great awe and reverence. Lord Shiva is serving him with such great love. All such exalted, wonderful personalities are serving. Ananta, 24 hours, glorifying the Supreme Lord, and still they feel that their services are not complete. They are thinking how I should improve my services. And here we are such tiny living entities. What is our service? But still Krishna has consented to come here and receive these services. So one fill his heart with gratefulness. And so that should be spread, that gratefulness should spread to Guru Gauranga. Gradually devotees become grateful to Acharyas. They are here. He becomes grateful to Goswamis. He starts recognizing various personalities who have so carefully brought this message to us. He understands the role and unique position of each one of them in delivering him. And then finally, then he starts realizing their importance, and he also becomes grateful to people, to Vaishnavas who helped him to grow in his spiritual life. So like that, this expands, this gratefulness expands more and more, and then devotee becomes totally, obliged. He becomes completely, he falls completely in love with this process, and then ensures to give more and more. He feels like giving more and more in Krishna's service and Guru's service. Any questions? We'll stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam.